Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday evening, May 30th, 2014, and today we're going to have another eBay video. I haven't put one of these out in about 2 weeks. I'd like to thank you guys for your patience in waiting and for your kind words, comments, cards, and everything else. So thank you for all that. Let me tell you the topics we're going to be discussing today. Not in any particular order, but there's a bunch of them. So if you hear your topic called out, hopefully you'll stay for the whole video. Big eBay webinar coming up. Talk about it in a second. I'm going to talk to you about how to get unfair defects removed, because that's something you've all been complaining about, and I've been very vocal about that. I want to talk more about eBay being hacked. I want to talk about a problem where eBay results are not showing up in Google search. If I have time, and I certainly hope to, I have a big box right next to me off camera. We're going to do a live unboxing from my good friend Lori Duffy. Sorry, Lori, that it took me a week and a half, but I think you understand the situation. I want to talk about PayPal verified addresses that are actually unverified, with a true experience from yours truly. And I want to talk about some stickers. All right, let's get started right now. I think I can knock two topics off at once. Let's start with the eBay webinar. There's going to be a webinar June the 4th, and the topic is going to be eBay Mobile, selling, listing, optimization, and mobile buyers. And guess who's going to be on the dais? My good friend and yours, Mr. Scott Henshaw. This is great news. One of our own is going to be on the dais, and I can't wait to see what Scott has to say. The webinar will be, as I said, June the 4th, Pacific time, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock Central, or 2 p.m. my time, which is Eastern time. I will drop a couple of links below. The first link will be to the webinar. In order to sign up for it, you will have to click that link, log in with your eBay account information, and you'll be good to go. I highly recommend you guys attend the webinar, because as you know, you can also ask live questions. Maybe your question will get picked. eBay has long been touting their iPhone app, which, in my opinion, needs to be retooled. Maybe they'll have an announcement about that. Who knows? On the same topic, you may remember a few weeks ago I showed you some stickers that Scott Henshaw had sent me. They look like this. All right? I'll read it to you. I'm an eBay seller and buyers love me, or buyers heart me, depending on how you want to read that. And these are neat little add-ons to stick on your boxes when you're shipping. It actually tells the public that you are good enough to sell on eBay and you're making sales. A few weeks ago, a bunch of people had written into me asking me how to get the stickers, and I wasn't sure exactly where they were being sold, but I am now. Scott Henshaw is selling them. I'll drop a link below. That'll be link number 2, in case you want to get some of these good stickers for yourself. I bought a bunch, and I put them on my boxes, and I think they're cool, and I think they're a good advertisement. People will see your boxes going out at the post office or at UPS with your address, your label, and the sticker that says you are an eBay seller and people love you. I think it's a great idea, and I support it. Okay, what should we talk about next? eBay defects. How to get an unfair defect removed. Most of you guys probably remember what happened to me a few weeks ago. Let me give you a quick rehash and then an update. A guy did a buy it now on a hub. I shipped it to him right away. UPS tracking number was uploaded, and maybe a week or two go by, and he doesn't contact me per se, but he automatically opens a case saying item not received. Now, in all fairness to the buyer, I don't think he meant to open a case. It's that adversarial relationship that eBay seems to be promoting, where cases are opened automatically. So the buyer says to me, Joe, the tracking number shows it was delivered to my house, but I never received it. I'm not looking for the money back, I want the hub. So I said, well, all right. I said to him, let me check on it. Now, I've been told by some people, right then and there, I shouldn't have actually helped the guy. Believe it or not, this sounds crazy, and quite frankly, I think it's insane. According to what eBay wants, they want me to immediately escalate it up to them. And according to eBay, had I immediately kicked it up to them, they would have found in my favor because it did show the item was delivered to the guy's door. However, the guy would still have not had his hub. He wouldn't have known what the hell was going on. So I chose to do the customer service route. I said to the guy, let me check on it for you. Contacted UPS. They sent a driver out to his house in Iowa or wherever the heck it was. And the driver rang the guy's bell and said, sir, I dropped the box off here, let's just say 3 days ago. And the guy said, I didn't get it. During that confrontation, the guy's wife comes out and says, oh, honey, I got that box. I just forgot to tell you about it. So, the guy contacts me back and sends his apology. He says, Joe, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. My wife had the box, I didn't know. The buyer closes out the case and he leaves me positive feedback. And I get a defect. Now, that is as much as you know, because I told you this a few weeks ago. I also told you that I was told to call eBay customer service, which I did. I called like on a Friday night at 9 o'clock, got the Philippines, and they understood what I was saying, and they had no power whatsoever to help me. It's like they were neutered. She said to me, Joe, I can't do anything to help you. She goes, I will submit a note to my superiors. Maybe they'll review it. And of course, they reviewed nothing. Now, fast forward to last week. It's strange how these things come full circle. A whole different set of circumstances happened. This involves PayPal, so let me just segue to story number 2, and we'll come back to story number 1. A guy does a buy it now for an item in eBay Motors and pays me right away with PayPal. Within 2 minutes, I get a letter from PayPal saying, do not ship this item. This is a fraudulent transaction. Now, I've been using PayPal for a year and a half. I have never had that happen. Never once. Within 2 minutes, they're telling me it's a fraud transaction. And it's a small transaction. It's not a big amount of money. I call PayPal, and the representative was really nice. She says, yes, from what I can see, this was done fraudulently. You have to give the guy his money back. I said, sure, no problem. I said, but I'm concerned about getting a defect from eBay. So she says, well, let me contact my counterpart over in eBay, and I'll get back to you. She puts me on hold, gets back to me a few minutes later. She goes, Joe, just refund the guy his money now through PayPal. And I spoke to the eBay rep, and she says it will not show up as a defect. Oh, cool, great. I do the refund, think nothing of it. A week goes by, and the item in question, you know how you refund somebody and there's the little $sign with like an arrow going backwards that shows you refunded it? Well, mine is still showing as payment was received, and eBay's wanting to basically know why I didn't ship this out. So I had to call up eBay again on this matter. So this time I did something a little differently, and I suggest you guys do it too. When calling eBay customer service, try and call on a weekday during business hours. Now, I've tried this in the past and it's hit and miss. This time was hit. I got right to Utah, baby. Yahoo! So I explained the situation to the lady. She looked at it. She goes, all right, you should not get a defect for this. You really don't deserve a defect. But if you do, we can see through the PayPal conversation that you refunded the guy his money and that it was not your fault. So I'm going to make sure you don't get a defect for this. And she was awful nice and awful helpful. And I could tell over the phone that I was talking to a lady that had clout. That if she saw something wrong, she had the power to right it. So she says, well, Mr. DeMarco, is there anything else we can do for you? I said, as a matter of fact, there is. And I related the story about the guy who got his hub, didn't know it, because his wife never told him, opened the case, closed the case, left me positive, and I got a defect. So she reviewed the messages through eBay contact system and saw the tracking number was uploaded. And she said, Joseph, let me tell you something. You should never have gotten a defect for this transaction. You did get it. It's coming off right now. She says, I am going to, make a note. I'm going to submit this. It'll be off in a couple of hours. I said, Miss, thank you for your help, but I got to be honest with you. I think it's unfair that us as honest sellers have to do this, that we have to go through this hassle and contact you guys because we didn't do anything wrong. We did nothing wrong. She said, Joseph, you didn't do anything wrong, and you shouldn't get a defect, and it's something we're looking into. Basically, she alluded to the fact that this new defect system still has some bugs in it, and they need to be ironed out. Now, whoa. I'm not saying they will be ironed out. I'm saying that she understood my concern, she was super helpful, and that defect was removed. Okay? So my advice to you guys, if you get a defect for item not received, and you did upload the tracking, eBay is telling you to immediately escalate the case to them, and they will protect you from a defect. Of course, that does not help the buyer. I mean, that really flies in the face of common sense to me, because I would be inclined to help the buyer and track the package for him, especially if there's a UPS tracking number right there. But my advice to you, this will work if you submit and escalate the case right away. But like what happened to me, I didn't escalate it, I tried to help the guy, and if you try and help the guy and he writes to you through messages and says, oh, I found the box, thank you, I was mistaken, and closes the case, I am told by this representative eBay will remove the defect. But, number one, you have to call the customer service. Number two, you better hope it's your lucky day and you get Utah. Number three, you better hope that all the messages are in the eBay contact system. I just dropped my phone on the ground. Excuse me. Yeah, I really got it all together, don't I? All right. That's a very important thing about the defects. In future weeks, I'm going to discuss other defects, such as item not as described, that kind of thing. But I don't have the time to do it today because I have way more pressing things. And besides, I haven't called him yet about that one because I haven't encountered that one, thankfully. Now, here's something that concerns me. There's an article on Auction Bites about eBay losing placement in Google search. Basically, and I think that there's some truth to this. Basically, they're saying that the Google algorithm has just been changed because they feel that eBay was padding the listings to make people who do specific searches go to eBay rather than other sites. And I'll tell you why I think there's some truth to it. I never, ever complain to you guys about being slow, ever. Once in my history of doing these videos, back when they had that Cassini search problem last November. But I hit the wall, I guess it was last Saturday, which was the beginning of the Memorial Day weekend. So I attributed it to the holiday, because I've noticed anytime there's a holiday, it absolutely kills business. I don't care if it's Memorial Day, Christmas, New Year's. People are out doing things. No matter what the holiday is, it kills business. But then when it got to be maybe Tuesday, sales didn't pick up. Then I got concerned, and someone had sent me that link, and I forgot which one of you it was, but thank you. I told you I'd mention it. So I will say that I guess yesterday was Thursday, sales started to pick up again to a point. But they were really flatlining over the weekend. And I want to know from you guys, did your sales flatline for the Memorial Day weekend? And if so, do you think it was the holiday or the fact that Google is not picking up all the eBay listings? If that's the truth, it's something we need to be concerned about, because we need the visibility. Next item, PayPal verified addresses. I was always under the impression when you get a letter from PayPal and it says like John Smith, 123 Main Street, New York, New York, and there's that little green writing underneath it that says confirmed or PayPal verified, I always figured that that was ironclad proof that the address existed. Well, a call out to you guys at PayPal. We got problems. Twice, not once, twice this week, I received bogus addresses. And I'm not talking about like a mistyping where the guy wanted 70 Main and he typed 700 Main. I got a guy did a buy it now on an item, and he found me through Google search. He was a zero feedbacker with a guest account, and here's his PayPal verified address. John Smith. Address line. John Smith. And then the state, like Phoenix, Arizona. So what I'm saying is, he typed in his name, John Smith, and as his address, instead of 123 Main Street, he typed in John Smith. And he got away with it. PayPal verified that address. That, in my opinion, is serious. All right? So I called PayPal. I said, I want this on record. She took one look at that. She said, Joseph, I have no idea how this ever got through. I said, well, what should I do? She says, well, you cannot complete this transaction because this is obviously unverified. She goes, you have to give the guy his money back and do a cancel through eBay. Now that opens up another whole can of worms because, all right, I gave his money back through PayPal, no problem there. Sent him the cancel transaction thing with a note. I said, if you want to buy this item, I'll relist it for you. Just tell me your right address. He has not responded in any way to the cancel transaction. What I'm saying is, through eBay's convoluted defect system, I could wind up getting the defect on this. But that's not really my complaint. My complaint is that PayPal let a person type a fake address in and didn't catch it and claimed it was verified. Then it happened again. Another newbie, using a guest account, did a buy it now, paid right away, and the address didn't look right. But when UPS contacted me, they called me on the phone, they said, Joe, this address is not valid. So I contacted the lady, and of course she left a whole bunch out. An apartment number and part of her street. My point again goes back to verification. How can this happen? I mean, I'm almost to the point of being speechless, and you know how that never happens. I just don't understand address verification. I thought that when you were told it's verified and confirmed that you would be protected. and they verified John Smith with an address of John Smith. Okay, to you guys working at PayPal security, please fix that bug before somebody gets burned. And if that's happened to any of you guys, comment below, because I'd love to hear your stories, please. Now, I want to talk about eBay being hacked. I mentioned this last week. I didn't have time to get into it. By now, I'm sure all of you guys have gotten letters from eBay saying you should change your passwords because they were hacked. As I said, I think it's a freaking crying shame that a billion-dollar company like eBay could even let themselves get hacked. But, what happened, happened. All right? So change your passwords, and like I said last week, eBay needs to not only increase their security, but they need to prosecute these bums. I have no use for hackers or scammers. None whatsoever. You guys know that, and I'm sure you all back me on that. These hackers and scammers and trolls, they operate under the cloak of darkness in dimly lit rooms. And you know, when they catch these guys, you ever notice how they become like a mouse or like a turtle in a shell? I was watching a report on Fox News months ago, and they caught this guy, and they went up to him. Here, let me do an impression for you. Let me see if I can do this right. Yeah. The reporter walked up to the guy and said, excuse me, and he called him by name and said, aren't you so-and-so? And the guy replied, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you saying? And he jumped into his vehicle and he took off. Because they're gutless. They don't have a spine. They have no work ethic whatsoever. So eBay, it's time. Capiche? Protect all your sellers, protect all your buyers. I think now, you guys want to see an unboxing? Sound good? I hope I don't have to move the camera. Let me set up the background on this. My good friend Lori Duffy, I've mentioned her before, sent me a nice little care package about a week and a half ago. And it was at least a week and a half ago. I put the box down, and then the situation turned really bad for me, so I was not even able to open this box. I had planned to do a live unboxing, but last Friday I did not do a video per se. I just did a real quickie. So this is the box. It was delivered by FedEx a week and a half ago. I'm going to open it now live. I'm going to unseal it. We're going to see what's in it. The box is open. Hermetically sealed. Okay. Look, a box inside a box. All right. Now we gotta open this one. It's gonna be good. Watch a Jack in the Box jump out at me here. That'd be great. On live national TV. Whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. Alright, you see there's a note on top. Joe. Thank you, Joe, for all that you do. Lori. Okay, thank you, Lori. Now, what do we got in here? Let's see what kind of swag you're going to see old Joey in. Okay, number one. Cool shirt. You know, if I had opened this last week, I could have worn it this week. Look for this next week. Okay. Here's a t-shirt for looking cool. Oh yeah, definitely. Black is my color too. Excellent. Thank you for that, Lori. And, well, we're not done yet. We have this. Let's see here. This is an official member eBay Green Team. It's a cup. There's some other stuff in here too. eBay pen, keychain, eBay keychain, and something else in there. Let me just step away from the camera here a second. An eBay pin. Okay. Very nice, Lori. Thank you very much for the swag. And something else here. I think these are stickers. Find the people who love what you love. eBay. I know there are some people that would like me to put this sticker right here. And then there are some that would not like that. So I will not do that. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for these wonderful clothes. You shall see them in future weeks. Okay, let's go over a little rehash now. When I can upload this. Number 1, checklist. Webinar, June the 4th with Scott Henshaw. He'll be discussing eBay mobile selling, listing, optimization, and mobile buyers. It'd be great if you could all attend and show some support for Scott. He's a good guy, and he was there when I needed him. That's link number 1. Link number 2 is, if any of you guys are interested in the stickers I showed you earlier, I'm an eBay seller, and buyers love me. Scott Henshaw is selling them. That'll be link number 2. I think they're cool. I talked about how to get a defect removed. If any of you guys want to chime in, if you had a similar success or if you had a failure, all right? And I know if you guys call the Philippines, then you probably didn't get it removed. The key is you've got to get one in Utah. And you know, it's tough. It's tough, I admit that. It took me a few go-arounds to get it, but I finally got it. So this defect system definitely needs to be overhauled. We talked about Google search, how they weren't picking up eBay listings earlier in the week. This is in fact true. We talked to the Facebook groups, all right? It seems to be coming back now. Today was a pretty decent day for me, sales-wise. So let's hope the trend continues. eBay was hacked. Guys, if you haven't changed your passwords, please change them. I'm sure after being hacked, eBay will hopefully increase their security. It would be great if they did. I'm really surprised that this even happened. I really am. Because I thought it was an ultra safe site. But, you know, there's always room for improvement. Again, thank you to Lori Duffy for the swag. Hi, Lori. And PayPal verified addresses. You guys are PayPal. I've been taking PayPal for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I've never once complained. And I'm not really complaining now. I'm warning. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that this kind of slip-up could occur. So you guys, please, you IT guys over in PayPal, please, make sure a verified address is indeed a verified address. And I think that about covers everything. Let's see what time we're at here now. Oh, great. Okay. That about wraps it up. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thanks for staying with me and continuing to watch my videos. Together we will grow as eBay grows. And we will sell and we will make coin. Because I love making coin. See ya.